All right, today's going to be your first safety meeting, and my name is Jake Moore. I'm the Director of Environmental Health and Safety. A little background about myself: I have 22 years of military service, primarily in anti-terrorism and emergency management, and most recently nuclear weapons safety and security. So the focus that we're going to work towards as a company now, as me, the new safety manager, is going to be create and foster a cultural or environment of safety conscious individuals who are working together toward the betterment of the company and all that entails. We're already working towards that as it is, but I think we can all take a little bit of a round turn on everything to make ourselves better. Oh, and by the way, Melissa's holding the camera. All right, today's training objectives for our first one is preparing for the heat. We're in Texas. It is hot, 7 inches from the sun. Types of heat illnesses, identifications of each illness and treatments, preventative measures, and then we'll do, or we would have done a review and question, but if you do have any questions at the end of this, you can please email me or talk to Melissa or catch me whenever you see me out on one of the sites. So what to know? Preparing for the heat. What is the average acclimation period? Melissa, do you know?
No idea.
It's about 5 to 7 days. But however, most of y'all have already been working out in the heat and in the environment, so you should be pretty acclimated to the weather. How do we react to the first day out in the heat? Well, it's been a while since we've had to deal with the heat, so our reactions are probably already done. But your first time out in the real strong heat, you're going to sweat more, you're going to become more tired, you're going to maybe cramp. There's a whole bunch of different things that might happen, and you all of us that have worked out in the heat know this, and that's why we usually try to prep and drink water or whatever. So how does acclimation help? Just like in anything, like, I don't know if anybody else played football or anything like that, the 2-a-days that we were out there on playing football, that was type of acclimation period. The coaches wanted to give us a little bit of time to get used to the physical exertion that we're going to do and the heat that we're going to do it in, and we slowly built up to a point where it didn't bother us as much to be outside in that heat. What are some of the heat illnesses? Some common ones are heat rash, cramps, nausea, stuff like that. All working up to heat exhaustion and heat stress, which are the two big ones that we need to worry about. Heat exhaustion being the precursor to heat stroke, which heat stroke can lead to fatality, so we need to really be mindful of that. What are some of the forms of heat illnesses? We just talked about that. And what are the worst forms of heat illness? I just hit on that, which would be heat stroke. ID the illness and treat it. What is heat rash? We also know that as prickly heat. Prickly heat. Inside your armpits or in the little grooves of your body where you get those little spots and rashes and everything is really uncomfortable. For us guys, it's usually right in that crotch line. It kind of itches and is irritating. That's the first sign that heat is starting to bother you. We need to be mindful of that. What are heat cramps? When you're out in the heat for too long, you haven't drank enough water, and you start getting cramps in your muscles. Usually they start in your legs, your bigger muscle groups, or something like that, maybe in your butt. If you start to feel that, you need to find some cold area, get in the shade, drink a lot of water, try to, get your body temperature back down. And what is heat syncope? Heat fainting. If we're getting to that point, then the situation's starting to get pretty bad. All right, the big two, kind of hit on this a minute ago. Heat exhaustion. Some signs that this is starting to happen to you. You get faint or dizzy, excessive sweating, just drenched in water, cool, pale, clammy skin, nausea, vomiting, weak or rapid pulse, and those muscle cramps again. So when you start to feel some of these, you need to be mindful of what's going on in your body, because we're going to work towards that heat stroke, and that heat stroke's whenever we're going to have a 911 call and you can potentially die. So heat stroke, throbbing headache. You've stopped sweating. You don't have the ability to produce sweat anymore, so now your temperature's going to rise a lot more. Your body temperature's going to get over 104. You're going to be red, hot, dry skin, nausea and vomiting again, rapid, strong pulse, and you may lose consciousness. When you get to this point, we need to call 911. All right? Preventative measures so that we don't get to that point. Drink a lot of water. All right? Take water out on the site with you and be drinking it all the time. Plan your day. If you can, potentially get out there and start your job before the sun in the afternoon. Let's get that done beforehand. Stay in the coolest part of the day. Help others. The buddy system, big on this. You might not know that you're going to be having an issue, but your partner, the guy out on the work site with you, could see this. So if you're starting to get dizzy, or your speech is getting weird or whatever, or you just don't look right, your skin colors, you're getting more pale or whatever, that's that buddy system. He's going to know that, come over and check on you to make sure you're okay, all right? Find shade when you can. Shower, dress appropriately, light clothing, but keep your arms covered, sunburns and all that, head covered, and do the best that you can to stay cool. All right, know the signs and the progression of heat illness. Again, heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and then heat stroke. This is going to be a progressive thing. It's not going to sneak up on you. So if you pay attention to one another, you'll start to see this stuff. And if you start having those heat rashes and stuff, maybe you're not doing enough pre-game to keep yourself out of the situation. Know what to do if someone else is having heat illness. Again, that's that buddy system. We're going to take care of one another, and if we get to the heat stroke, we need to call 911. We need to make all the proper notifications and make sure that this guy is taken care of. And then, I said it again, buddy up pregame. All right, that's number one.